Hello and welcome to the third episode of this HTML tutorial series. In this lesson we are going to talk about two important and related concepts, elements and tags. In the first lesson we talked about how HTML is used for providing structure to a web page. Fundamentally, HTML is just another document format, just like TXT or doc. If you are creating a TXT file in Notepad, you are just creating a plain text file. It has no structure whatsoever. On the flip side, if you create a Word document in Microsoft Office, you can have structure for the text. A Word document also supports images, graphs, illustrations, and charts. HTML takes it a step further and adds audio, video, and even interactive content. In Microsoft Word, if you want to have a particular text as a heading, you have to highlight the heading by selecting the text first and then selecting the heading from the options. What Microsoft Word does is it adds some additional information along with the text. The additional information added to the file determines what the structure of the file is going to be. In the same way, in HTML documents, we have to provide additional information in order to structure the content. This is where the concept of elements comes in. An element is a combination of content and the additional information about that content. A single HTML file can have many elements. Each element can have its own content and additional information that explains the structure of that element. An element starts with a tag at the beginning of the content. The element finishes after the content with a similar tag. The tag at the beginning is called a starting tag or opening tag. It has the name of the element surrounded by angle brackets. The tag at the ending is called the closing tag or the ending tag. The format of an ending tag is similar to that of a starting tag. It has the element name surrounded with angle brackets. The difference is that the ending tag has a forward slash right after the opening angular bracket. You can find the forward slash character in between the dot and the shift keys in your keyboard. The opening tag along with the content along with the ending tag make up an element. This structure is common for most of the elements. The only thing that is going to change is the name of the element. There are some exceptions, however. Those exceptions are empty elements. Empty elements don't have any content. So empty elements can be represented just by the opening tag. Another format for empty element is to include the forward slash within the open tag. Both formats are acceptable in HTML5. So you should choose one and stick with it for the rest of your project. An interesting point to note is that elements can have other elements as their content. This is called nesting of elements. In this case, the element within the content is known as a child element and the element surrounding the content is called the parent element. There is a rule that the parent element should completely enclose the child element. This is called proper nesting. In case some part of the child element is outside the parent element, the browser may get confused. Most of the browsers are designed to handle these types of situations, but there is no guarantee that your web page will be shown correctly. Whenever you are nesting elements, you should make sure the structure is proper. If you choose to use an advanced code editor, it may take care of some of the problems for you. Choosing a suitable editor is going to be a future lesson. So stay tuned for that lesson. That's all for this lesson. In the next lesson, we'll be talking about another important concept, attributes. If you want to watch more lessons like this, subscribe to our channel. If you like this lesson, show some support by giving a thumbs up. If you have any feedback or questions, leave them in the comment section below. See you guys in the next lesson.